Thank you. Thank you, Las Cruces, for joining us with This Week with Sam Stichter. You know, friends, this is the 16th anniversary this month, June, of when my family and I moved to Las Cruces from Pennsylvania. And in that time, I have to tell you, we really enjoyed experiencing everything that the Las Cruces community has to offer. One of the things I can tell you is that I really enjoy the food, as you can probably tell. And by the way, the answer to the question is green. I don't like spicy food, but I've learned to like green chili for sure. And another thing that probably my favorite thing is the weather. You cannot beat the 350 days of sunshine that we have here in Las Cruces. And you know, the other thing that I enjoy is the amazing landscapes can be seen from anywhere around town. And they can be seen from a distance, as well as I try to go up close to the many trails in the area that are not only here locally, but all around the state and even in some of our federal parks. You know, friends, this past Sunday, one of the things that I love to do is take my dog Annie out for a walk, and we went to one of my favorite places around town, Mesilla Valley Bosque State Park. My dog loves it there too because she can walk along the trails, and there's the water, and we saw that the Rio Grande is rising up, so that was always a great thing to see. Another thing that my family and I like to do is go out to Slot Canyon and spend the day there. And who can forget, of course, I'm so excited that now we have, finally, White Sands as a national park. Woohoo! So, as summer rolls on, I hope you and your family, now that we're able to get out of the house, get away from that quarantine, and have some fun and take advantage of all the amazing and fun opportunities of activities that we have here in the Las Cruces and surrounding areas. Speaking of fun, you know, guys, I got to tell you, I'm so excited. We have a great show tonight. Las Cruces Public Schools Superintendent, Dr. Karen Trujillo, is here. And she has some news for us that you're going to want to stay around for. I also have a great friend of mine, known him for over 30 years. Funny guy. I think you're going to love him. Joey Callahan, the comedian, is here. He's going to be joining us remotely by Zoom. And Marcy Dickerson is back in the studio, and she's going to be making tasty quarantine quartz. You're not going to want to miss that. And finally, I told you it's a packed show. We have a special performance by one of our favorite guests. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, she's back. Dawn Solar is here in the studio, and she's going to be singing a song. So you're not going to want to miss this. Don't go away. We have more fun coming up after these messages, and we'll see you in a minute.
Broken AC, $4,600. Water heater, $1,500. Fridge on the fritz, $1,000.
You won't pay any of that when you have home warranty coverage from the Home Service Club.
They'll repair or replace your covered home appliances and systems for around $1 a day.
HSC provides coverage of up to 47 different appliances and systems in your home.
Call the number on your screen now. Get a month free plus $75 off your first year HSC home warranty. No worries, just service.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, I'm really excited to have my sidekick, Scotty, back with me for this week's show. You know, last time, you may have noticed, Scott wasn't here. And you know, Scott, I really did miss you. I know the audience missed you as well. A lot of people were asking me where you were at. And you know, and Scotty was having fun with his family. He was at a family reunion. He had a reunion there at the Walmart over in Valley Drive. And we have a picture if you want to show that for the audience. So there's Scotty having fun with his family. And you know, Las Cruces, one thing I noticed that we're kind of getting back to normal. And when I walk through the stores, Walmart, and the other day I was at Walgreens, CVS, I noticed that we're seeing a lot more paper towels and toilet paper on the shelves. So that, as opposed to a few months ago, to me, that's definitely a good sign. Then, hopefully people aren't hoarding that stuff anymore, and everybody gets to have their fair share of those things. So I'm glad to see a lot of people having those things in the community, and we're getting a sense of normalcy here in Las Cruces. Another thing that I noticed the other day during Election Day was that a lot of Las Crucens were out exercising their right to vote on Election Day, and that's always a good thing. And I want to congratulate all the winners of the primary, and we're definitely looking forward to the election in November on Tuesday, November 3rd. One thing that we're obviously all looking forward to, I would say, is that we're going to have a presidential election this year. So definitely a big election, and we're going to be also electing some of our local leaders. So, and speaking of leaders, we have our first guest here in the studio tonight. She's a leader for the Las Cruces Public Schools. Help me welcome Dr. Karen Trujillo, our superintendent. Welcome, Karen, to the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
So Karen, I know over the last year you finished your first year of being superintendent for Las Cruces Public Schools. Tell me a little bit about how you're feeling right now.
Well, it wasn't eventful at all. We didn't have any major things that happened this year.
Real quiet, huh?
It was very quiet, easy transition. Well, I mean, you work in the school, so you know everything that we went through. I think, when I landed here in Las Cruces, got offered the job to be the interim superintendent at the beginning.
Knew, right?
If I only knew. But, I definitely feel like one of my sayings that I learned when I was at Holy Cross as the principal, we had a priest that was there, and he always used to say, bloom where you're planted. That was one of his huge sayings. He taught the song to the kids. We sang it every week. And I just feel like, you bloom where you're planted, no matter what that is or whatever took you to that garden. And I just feel like this was a huge opportunity to bloom. And we had a lot of challenges, the computer glitch in the fall, the ransomware attack in the fall. And, I almost think that it was a trial run for us to prepare for the COVID-19 epidemic.
If we only knew then, but yeah, definitely.
If we only knew then.
For sure,
But it really was. We were building up our infrastructure for technology and getting ready for lots of different scenarios. So by the time we rolled into this, people were very used to not being normal.
Right. Well, you mentioned your experience, coming in as superintendent, but you certainly have a lot of experience in education. I know we were talking a little bit before the show. You're from Las Cruces, as far as you've been here since high school.
Yes.
And you're a Mayfield graduate,
Yes,
right?
I'm a Mayfield graduate. My son's also a Mayfield graduate. My
Go
daughter,
Trojans.
Go Trojans. My oldest daughter was a Oñate Knight, so she was a Knight for 3 years, and my youngest daughter actually graduated from Hatch Valley along with her oldest sister. So they're Bears. So a lot of connections throughout the community and all of the different schools.
Right, and then obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but most people know that you were a teacher for a while.
Yes.
And at Cruces High.
I taught math. That was my first teaching assignment. Did my student teaching at Mayfield, and then I taught my first couple of years at Las Cruces High School back in the early 90s. And then we moved for a few years. My husband's from Grant County, so we moved to Cobury, to Truth or Consequences, and then back to Las Cruces in 2004.
So you've pretty much done it all when it comes to
Yes.
education. I know you've been a principal, you've been a professor in NMSU in the math department, and then you worked just a little bit as in politics. Can you?
A little bit in politics, and actually when I was at NMSU, I was in the College of Education.
Right.
So I did math education work. But I wasn't in the math department per se. And then after I did that stint at NMSU, I decided that I was going to run for the county commission.
Right.
So that was a couple of years ago.
Yes.
Got elected in November 2 years ago, and then swiftly, got appointed as the Secretary of Education in Santa Fe. That didn't last very long.
No,
but that's okay.
Their loss is our gain.
Their loss is my happiness for sure. So so I ended up back here in Las Cruces in August of last year, and was just very grateful for the opportunity to be the superintendent here in Las Cruces.
Yes. So everyone, at least everyone I talk to, wants to know what's going to happen as we get going back to school in August. Are we going back? Are we going to stay remote? What's the plan, so to speak?
So very, very glad that you asked. On Election Day, we were able to have the first meeting of our reentry task force.
Okay.
We just felt like it was very important for us to determine our own destiny here in Las Cruces.
Yes.
I know that the PED for the state level, they have a statewide task force, but their work, they have to take into consideration all of the rural communities, districts that have a total of 60 kids,
Right.
all the way up to Albuquerque Public Schools.
Right.
And Las Cruces is the second largest district in the state.
And-
And we have our own issues and plans with
Right.
4 comprehensive high schools. We have 25 elementary schools, 7 middle schools.
Right.
So,
And sometimes I think we're a little out of sight, out of mind.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Being down here in the south, so sometimes we got to have our own task force
Exactly.
and take care of ourselves at times.
Most definitely. And so we put together a group. So we have a district-wide task force with lots of different subgroups. So one that's dealing with instruction, operations.
Good.
What are we going to be doing with our special needs population? And so we have great leaders for all of those. Each of them have subgroups. We have parent representation, our community schools coalition, Chamber of Commerce. So it's a pretty good representation of Las Cruces.
Okay, excellent. I know one thing that you're very concerned about is when you communicate to the Las Cruces community, you want to make sure that your message is not only getting out, but the right message is getting out, that people are getting correct information, because a lot of times through social media and other outlets, things kind of get twisted, and
Right.
that's how sometimes people get a little upset. So what are some ways that you're making sure that the correct message is getting out to the population?
So we're spending a lot of time directly communicating with our parents through the In Touch, so sending text messages, emails directly to parents. We use our social media, so we have an LCPS official Facebook page, a Twitter page, and then we have our website. So I really would encourage everybody to go to those sources of information. Every Sunday now we also have a column that's dedicated in the Sun News to Las Cruces Public Schools. So that's
Good.
another avenue,
Good.
and especially as we prepare to go into this coming year and figuring
Right.
out if we're going to be online, face-to-face, or a hybrid model.
Right, communication is super
Communication
important.
is super important, not only for our staff and our students, but also for our community.
So I know you had, quickly, I know you had some seniors in your own life graduate this year, your 2 daughters.
Yes.
Can you mention their names and where they graduated from?
I can. So my oldest daughter, Tara Lynn, she got her master's degree at New Mexico State, so she's
Yes,
a
go
speech
Aggies.
pathologist. Go Aggies. So she's a second degree Aggie.
Yes.
And my youngest daughter, Tavin, graduated from Hatch, and she will be an Aggie in the fall. So very, very happy for both of them.
So, and I know, even though it wasn't what we expected, I know the senior celebrations did go well, and it seemed like everybody had a great time, even though it wasn't, like I said, what they kind of expected.
Exactly, and we were just so proud that we were able to coordinate with, KTAL Radio, with all of our, TV programmers and our people, Bill Fox and his crew, Matt Dawkins at LCPS. I mean, it was a tremendous amount of coordination
Yeah, I can
with
only
our
imagine.
local law enforcement, state law enforcement. And it was really a perfect example of all of the high schools coming together,
Right.
all 7 high schools
For
coming
sure.
together and developing a plan that worked for our community. So it wasn't ideal
Good.
for sure, but there were lots of smiling faces.
And that's all that matters.
And that's all that matters.
And they're going to remember this probably
They will.
more than most classes, I would imagine.
That's
So
right.
that's something as well. It's very historic, as I said on the last show. So we do have to wrap it up here,
Sure.
but I definitely would like to have you back on a future show as we get closer to the opening of the school year and we know a little bit more about exactly what might be going on. So hopefully you can come back.
I would love to.
All right. So Las Cruces, I want you to guys stay tuned for the show here. We have a great guest coming up. We have a friend of mine. He's a comedian and he's very funny. And we also have our entertainer that comes to the show. Dawn Solar is going to be singing a song for us. So please stay tuned after these messages.
Hi, I'm Ray Bamberg with Here on Earth. I would like to invite you for a free hearing evaluation to our office. We've been here in southern New Mexico for 34 years helping people hear better.
And now I want to show you the special segment that I taped with Marcy Dickerson. She was here in the studio on another show, and we taped her making quarantine quarts with me, and I even got to sample one of her pickle ones. We had to add some vodka to it, and it was very tasty, a little tart, but I really liked it. So here it is. Enjoy this segment. Hey there, Las Cruces. Welcome back to This Week. You know, as promised, we have Marcy Dickerson back in the studio. Thanks for coming back, Marcy.
Thank you for having me.
Marcy's here to show us how to make her world-famous quarantine quarts.
Absolutely. These are the absolute key to survival in quarantine land because, as we know, we may never get out of this. It's going to last forever.
Oh, please don't say that.
No, I hope it doesn't. But we recommended this a long time ago, so we started selling mixers. Now, alcohol does not come with these. I have to say that first because that's illegal in the state of New Mexico.
Provide your own.
But please provide your own. But I'm going to teach you how to do it really quickly. So we have Bloody Marys, margaritas, lemon drops, Moscow mules, and pickle martinis available in our quarantine quarts. We also have mojitos. So have you ever had a pickle martini?
I have not.
It is amazing. So let me tell you how to do this. Okay. So
I have
first
had pickle juice, so this should be interesting.
So you have your quarantine quart. You get this from the game. So the first thing you do is you open it up and you pour the mixer in another cup, just like that. Okay, and you go put this away. Okay. So that goes away. We don't drink out of glasses. This is quarantine land. So then after that, you get some ice. Now, we could use proper sanitation, but most of us have had our hands sanitized so much that there is no viruses or any germs that can live on our hands. So for today, I'm just going to use my hand. So we're going to put the ice in here. Just like that, just like that. So you have your ice in it. And then the
smell the pickle. It
yeah,
smells awesome.
thank you. And then the most important part. So we have vodka. Tito's obviously has not come out with their amazing sponsorship of the quarantine quarts. So you can use any vodka you want. Pour the vodka in.
This is my favorite part.
And you know, really, however much vodka you feel that you need for that day, and I think it differs. You know, some moms are on a lot more shots than they used to be.
I think we need a bigger.
That's it. You know what I mean? And then you stir it. And now the pickle martinis do come with a tahini rim, which is delicious. It's a little hard to do on plastic, so what we've done is we just kind of sprinkle it on the top there, right there.
Gotta have the tahini.
And then the beautiful part of this is, so many people have asked me, they go, why are these so big? Well, if you know, most people who are
I wouldn't ask that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I think this is the right size. But most people who are staying home, what's the first question you were asked by others? Well, how much did you drink last night? So this way you can answer, I only drank one. There you go. Here is your official quarantine quart, pickle martini. Enjoy that.
Oh, it smells amazing.
Those are some of my favorites.
Oh, that is very good. That's awesome. Thank you.
So you can get them at either game 1 or game 2. They're $8
right.
a quart. Remember, there is no alcohol. You do have to have your own alcohol in that. They're $8 a quart. Bloody Marys, Bloody Beers, Moscow Mules, Lemon Drops, margaritas, pickle martinis, or mojitos. We have fresh grown lime. That's doing well. So both of those available at the game. Call and order them. They are available 7 days a week.
I was going to say, is it better if they call ahead?
Call ahead. They do make them fresh. So, you know, the managers and bartenders that are working do have to do that. So please call ahead and order them early and we'll have them ready for you. And you can, you know, go home and pick your poison and enjoy it and do it that way.
And they'll go great with Wing Tuesday?
Yes, they do. You know, they are definitely, there's nothing better than 50-cent wings and some pickle martinis as far as I'm concerned.
All right, well, Marcy, again, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you for having me on.
Love the martini. It was great.
There you go.
All right,
Thank
Las
you.
Cruces, stay tuned after these messages with This Week with Sam Stichter.
Attention Medicare customers with diabetes. Now you can stop the painful pricking of your fingers with a continuous glucose monitor. And they're covered by Medicare if you qualify. Call right now for free information.
Welcome back to This Week. You know, Las Cruces, I am so excited about my next guest. We're going to have an awesome comedian here on the show via Zoom. His name is Joey Callahan, and he's one of my college friends from over 30 years ago, and I've followed his career, and he's someone that has always been very hilarious, even back when I knew him at Lock Haven University of Pennsylvania, one of the funniest guys I know. I'd like to welcome to the show now via Zoom, Joey Callahan. Joey, there you are. How you doing, buddy?
Man, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Did you get taller from college? You look taller.
I know I got wider.
You know what? We all got wider, pal. But now you look like you're tall enough to get on those rides that you couldn't get onto before. So that's good.
It took me a while, but I think I finally reached the height requirement.
Is that toilet paper?
This is my sidekick. This is Scotty. Say Scotty, say hi to Joey.
Do you have some kind of diverticulitis problem? I mean, will you be pooping during this at all? I want to know.
No, during the COVID quarantine here, Scotty was taken away from his family, and hoarders took away his family and his friends. So I rescued him from the dreaded shelves of Walmart.
Fair enough. Well, I'm glad to see you've upped your shopping levels going to Walmart. You're always very classy.
Yeah, very classy guy. So speaking of the quarantine, I know right now you're normally used to being on the road doing your comedy specials and your sets on the road, but you've been home. What's that been like?
Well, first of all, my last show was March 14th in a theater in New York City, and we drove home, and I'm like, I think we're out of show business. And my wife and my daughters, I have 2 daughters, are all living with me since March.
Lucky you.
I live with all women. And I'm really getting good at it. When I wake up, I just apologize to the first one I see. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're right. I didn't think you're right. I didn't consider your feelings.
I know the feeling.
And my family has this amazing ability. Whatever room I want to be in, they somehow have a meeting, and they're in that room 2 seconds before I get in that room. Like, I just want to be left alone. So my fear is there's going to be a murder-suicide in my house, and the cops are going to go, it's a murder-suicide. I don't know who killed himself and who killed the other people. It's a mystery.
So I've been following you along on Facebook over the last couple months while we've been in this
Let me ask you a question. Are you wearing pants right now? Stand up. Let me see if you're wearing pants. I don't believe you're wearing pants. Oh, look at that. All right.
I know I'm one of the few hosts that actually isn't in shorts or normally I wear my bikini bottoms, but not today. Because of you, Joey.
You can't get a Brazilian. That's the problem.
Only because you're on the show that I dress up today.
Oh, thank you, pal. I appreciate that.
So I understand that, and I found this to be very amusing, that you actually let your daughter give you a haircut during this.
Look at this. Look at this.
It shows.
It's Schindler's List meets a mental patient. That's what I feel like. I'm if you're going to give electroshock therapy, I'm ready.
You're ready to go, huh?
Yeah.
So Joey, I want my viewers here in Las Cruces to know that you're not just a local comedian there in the Philadelphia area. You've played practically all over the world. But I know you've been on Comedy Central. You've been on ESPN. Tell us a little bit about your career.
Oh, I make drunks laugh. So if there's a comedy club where drunks want to laugh, I will be there. I've done the Edinburgh Comedy Festival. I was in Europe.
Wow.
I performed in Canada. I opened up for B.B. King, the Smothers Brothers, wherever. I'm doing a cable access show in New Mexico. I'll go anywhere where there's a gig.
You will go anywhere, even to the beautiful state of New Mexico.
Yeah, I will go to New Mexico. I know it's a state. A lot of people don't know New Mexico is a state.
That's correct.
They think it's Mexico 1.0. So, no, I know you guys are actually a state. So, remember to vote
You've scored many
November.
points with my audience just knowing that.
Yeah. And here's my Spanish. ¿Dónde está biblioteca? ¿Dónde está pantalones? That's all I got.
So, I understand. Yeah, no. Hey, I remember that from our Spanish class at Lock Haven. So I had 4 years of Spanish, and I know just about that much myself.
There you go.
But I understand that you're going to be doing, and I watch this all the time on Facebook as well. You're going to be doing a dry bar comedy special.
Yeah. So I was lucky. January, I flew to Provo, Utah, and I taped a comedy special for Dry Bar Comedy. So it's drybarcomedy.com or YouTube Dry Bar Comedy. It's not out yet, but it's coming out. Okay, so I taped it, and I'll go to joeycallahan.com or me on Twitter, Joey Callahan. I'll have announcements, but they're editing it right now, but I'll have it out. So I'm looking really forward to that.
Right, and I know my viewers want to also, we're going to be having you here in a minute. We're going to be showing some of your comedy act. Again,
cool, thanks.
Yeah, we would love to have you here in the studio at some point, but this is the next best thing. But if my viewers also want to catch some of your other stuff, they can go on YouTube, correct?
Yeah, Joey Callahan Comedy, if you go to YouTube. Yeah, that'd be great. Hey, watch some stuff. If you like it, send me a message. If you don't like it, please send me a message. I love that as well. So.
Well, Joey, unfortunately, this has been awesome, but unfortunately, we are out of time. So I'm going to...
We just got started.
I know. It goes so fast. But, buddy, I'm so thankful that you were able to come on the show.
Thank you, and thank you, producer, and thanks all the audience members there in New Mexico. What a lovely new state you guys are.
All right, Joey, I appreciate it. And Las Cruces will be right back with Joey Callahan, so stay tuned.
So I'm a dad. I got that dad. I bought the minivan 2 days ago, so my life's officially over. Hey, here's something you never see a group of hot women say. You never hear a group of hot women go, ooh, look at that guy in the minivan. I've become my father. Growing up, my dad would walk around the house talking to himself. I had no idea what he was saying. Now I'm married. I got 2 kids and a mortgage. I know exactly what the hell the man was saying. He was just walking around the house going, when you leave a room, shut the damn light off. I have an idea. Let's put the heat and the air conditioner on. Let's see if we can get it to snow in the living room. Wait a minute, you got the heat on? We gotta open the windows. Let me yell across the street to the neighbors. Mike, shut your heat off. I got this round. No, I have daughters. I have an 11 and I have a 7-year-old. It's great. My 7-year-old, everything is Barbie. It's like, Daddy, I had a dream Barbie slept with me. I'm going, you too? What are the chances of that? Was she bad? No, Barbie's not bad. Well, she was in Daddy. Really bad. Watching my wife give birth, you women are the superior gender. That little trick you can do with your body, God bless you. As a man, I'll never know what it's like to have anything leave my butt. Hey, sweetheart, there's nothing you could say that could possibly bring anything to the attention of the people as interesting as what I'm going to say. So, if your husband hasn't taught you that little trick yet, let me be your teacher. I never get my wife's in the delivery room. She's pushing. All of a sudden, this head pops out, and she quits. She starts going, I can't do this anymore. And the doctor starts yelling at me, say something, get her going, remember your training. I'm like, Doc, what do you say to that? She's got a head sticking out her petunia. The only thing I can think to say is, honey, you better keep pushing it. You're going to have a hard time getting a pair of pants to fit. Folks, that's all my time. My name is Joey Callahan. Thanks so much.
And now, coming up on the show, we have Dawn Solar, one of our favorite singers on the show. She was actually on my very first show, and she did such a great job, and she sang a few songs for us. We weren't able to get them all on that episode, so we have her coming back tonight, and she's going to be singing a classic from Patsy Cline. Here it is.
I've got your picture that you gave to me, and it's signed with love, just like it used to be. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got your picture, she's got you. I've got the records that we used to share, and they still sound the same as when you were here. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got the records, she's got you. Well, I've got your memory, or has it got me? I really don't know, but I know it won't let me be. I've got your class ring that proved you cared, and it still looks the same as when you gave it, dear. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got these little things, she's got you. But I've got your memory, or has it got me? I really don't know, but I know it won't let me be. I've got your class ring that proved you cared, and it still looks the same as when you gave it, dear. The only thing different, the only thing new, I've got these little things, she's got you.
You know, that was a great rendition of Patsy Cline's classic. And as always, Dawn Solar delivers. And guess what, folks? If you liked that, she's going to be premiering here on the Las Cruces channel, her show, An Evening with Dawn. And we want you to tune in and check that out, as well as this show this week. And Las Cruces, you know, as we get here into the summer months, I know that it's been a little tense in the nation, and everybody's been kind of stressed and on edge. I think we really need to, as we get into the summertime, I know it's getting hot, we're reaching triple digits here in the Las Cruces area. Now's probably a time just to take a deep breath, maybe take a dip in the pool, or a lot of the area pools and rivers and lakes are opening up. I understand Elephant Butte is opening up, so I know a lot of people go up there in the summertime and take their families and just relax. So now is a great time to be thinking about doing that. And just hopefully everybody just can enjoy the summer. Again, as I said earlier in my monologue, Las Cruces in the area has a lot to offer. So thank you for tuning in tonight. I'd like to thank my guests that were here on the show, Las Cruces Superintendent, Public Schools, Dr. Karen Trujillo, and we also had comedian Joey Callahan on the show. And as I mentioned, we're always glad to welcome back Dawn Solar, one of our favorite musical guests. So again, Las Cruces, thank you for tuning in, and remember to make this week your best week.